I hate doing dumb stuff. Now look at that. It's Monday. We just finished up with, actually a pretty long meeting. We've got everybody here. We've got Kevin, we got Cameron, we got Skylar, we got Tony, and Joey. All together as a big family. So we've got some changes in the forecast as far as jobs. We're obviously not done here, but we've got some other things that have come up. And when it's, as it's starting to kind of slow down here, we're just gonna divide and conquer and get some things done. So you're gonna see those coming up pretty quick. In the meantime, we've got trenching to do. That's actually where Cam and Kevin are going right now to go do some trenching. And we've got some more concrete forming to do and some fence. So we're gonna get to it. So here we are in the living room here. Joey, would you like to explain to us the status of our spiral staircase?
Would I like to? No. Will I? Yes. God bless their souls. They tried their best and they supplied a spiral, but we don't think it's adequate, unfortunately. Are you nervous? It's just a little T-Mooey. For what this build is, it doesn't quite cut the mustard. There's a lot of simple things wrong with it. If you sight down this thing, this isn't even one of the worst ones. All the nubbies are just all over the place. There are paint marks on the underside of every one of these where when they painted it, they must have hung it with a little coat hanger of sorts, and they provided no touch-up paint. And everything's kind of just out of whack, out of plumb, and just inadequate feeling. So what we're doing, because there is a good budget for this, is this unfortunately is getting scrapped, and a local fabricator that's doing all of the stainless railing and handrails around the whole place is going to fabricate one of these as a one-piece thing, and we're going to crane it in through the top. So we're going to kind of put a pause on developing the front a whole bunch more to add concrete and planters and all this different stuff, because we need room now for a crane to come in here. So the same fabricator that's doing all the different fabrication around the house is going to now build this, which is awesome because it'll have his heart and soul in mind, designing it and integrating it into all the different elements of the house inside and out, which will be better. And he's actually the one making the railing for up top, the stainless railing, which has to be kind of weird because as the skylight opens, you still have to maintain the same codes for trips, falls, and handrails and all that. So it's actually going to have to cantilever off of the deck we built to come really close to the handrail coming up out of here, so that there's a very small gap between the upper handrail in the glass and the lower handrail in the glass. So having the same fabricator do both of these elements makes more sense anyways, so that's where we're at with it.
Okay, so right now, them fellers over there are filling in the trench that we've had open for a while, going over to the propane tank and then also where the generator is going to go. So I just verified our dimensions of the generator, and it is going to fit just perfectly on one of our little lily pads. So these have been hanging around for quite a while. This was the sidewalk that we actually cut out from that we poured originally that wasn't the correct height, and we knew there was a good reason to keep that around and not just scrap it. So it's actually going to work out perfectly for one of these to act as the pad that the generator is going to go on. So them fellers are filling the trench in right now. I'm going to snag one of these and we're going to get it positioned, and then be able to set the generator and get it hooked up. All right, we got something special. We got the glass for all the glass railing. Oh yeah, we're unloading it. We get to do our railing. in Arizona, in Arizona land. So we are here actually in Blue Lake. Joe and I are getting a line down. Good. So we are building a big, huge deck around this. It's 108 by like 60 feet. And yeah, we're building the deck all the way around this thing. So this is another local construction company that they did all the dirt work for this and all the gravel, and they have a lot of other projects going on, and they didn't want to build this deck. And we had a kind of perfect lull in the Trinidad job, so we are going to build this deck. So this is going to be a big one. We're going to be here for a little while. Only 259 more to go. I know. Back towards you a little bit. Right there. That's good. Well, Joey and I thought we were being smart by being creative with our framing, but so we are going to put a ledger along this whole thing and then just do LU26s to attach our joists to. And we're like, sweet, love doing that. It attaches to the building, makes it sturdy and everything. But then we were realizing, oh, actually it'd be really great if our deck boards ran perpendicular to the wall, which would mean our joists would have to run parallel with the building. But after some consideration,
Science.
We
don't really have room. The trade-off would be we have slightly more convenient, maybe majorly more convenient deck boarding, but because this whole deck is so low profile, we don't have room to make the framing convincingly strong and braced in every direction without attaching it to the building. So
yeah,
it's trade-offs.
So we stopped Cam from doing his work to be like, oh well, no, wait, we gotta switch this around and do all this, but we're just gonna stick with our original plan. And
quit using our stinking brains.
Yeah, kind of a bummer because it's really nice to run our deck boards perpendicular because you just run them long, snap a line, cut them so they're all perfect, but it's fine. We'll just run them long. But yeah, look at that guy. Is there any sweat in those pits? Yep.
My first one of the day.
Yeah, we got them almost. We thought 75 were going to be too many. No, we're still going to be short. Well, back up here in Trinidad, Tuesday morning, just me. Skylar and Tony are down in Fortuna. Cam and Kevin are actually, they're by themselves in Blue Lake. There's just a whole lot of digging to do, so they're actually going to get all the piers set today. And Joey and I are going to start getting, hopefully, the plan is, start getting that glass installed up on the roof deck. So we'll see how it goes. I mean, we have all the parts and everything, so I don't see what would stop us from doing it, but you know, there's been a lot of hiccups along the way on this job, so I'm not going to promise anything, but that is the plan. Just going to be me for a little while. Joey's stopping and checking the guys in Fortuna, and yeah, so I'm probably just going to keep going on some forming stuff and just buy a little bit of time until Joey gets here. Got it done. Man, what a pain in the butt this was. Because it wasn't just drilling through. So I made the mistake of putting these forms up before I got these pieces of rebar in. So you can see I had to drill through. Actually, Tony did. Drilled through there so that he could get the concrete bit back in here. Man, and not having the right caulking gun. As you saw, I had two Tajima single cocking guns to use the epoxy, but got it done. So now I can put 90s in here, tie in a rebar, and then we'll be tied into this wall. Jeez, what a pain in the butt. But we got through it. Gonna keep on forming. All right, Joey is done talking to the sub. Now he's back on the phone. But we are shifting gears into glass. So we are going to do that. So I'm going to get the machine and start getting these and up there. We're going to start setting glass. Well, little setback. When I was forking this thing up, from my perspective down there, looked like I was clear, and the fork just clipped the flashing right there, popped this deck board up. This one got pushed up a little bit. I hate doing dumb stuff. Thankfully, I avoided any kind of serious damage by just a tiny bit. So, oh man, it could have been a lot worse. The only thing that needs to be replaced is that piece of flashing. The this prime cedar here, it's totally fine. It just got right underneath the edge of the deck board and just popped it up and bent up the flashing. So, I hate doing stuff like that. So anyways, gonna get that fixed up, and then we right on track to get our glass installed. Well, as if we needed any more setbacks. Joe, you want to explain what's going on here?
Do I want to? No.
No. Will you please?
Well, as I was saying to Alex, I'm sure it makes sense logistically to haul this the way that they did, but we're on the roof deck and we have 4 pallets worth of glass. Some are obviously taller, some are obviously shorter. You would think that the short ones have all the short glass in it, the tall ones have the tall glass in it. Not the case. The tall one has about a 50-50 mixture of shorts and talls, so we're gonna have to take this apart, move it around while it's all dismantled, and then bring the tall ones back up here while safely trying to store the short ones without breaking them. It'll be easy, I promise.
And the worst part is, it's not even just like, oh, the front half are the 40 inch, because these are all 50 inch up here. This is a 50 inch. These are 40 inch. That's a 50 inch.
And it looks short because this is turned sideways. So this turned sideways are the 50-inch ones for the entrance that takes a short, not short, takes a tall, skinny one. But this whole middle cluster goes to an entirely different part of the house that totally coulda, shoulda, woulda been on a different pallet, so that you don't have to dismantle and store and remantle glass while we're trying to fork it around the property. But like I said, I'm sure it makes 100% sense logistically to a company that's packaging them, hopefully. Or maybe it makes no sense to us and no sense to them either.
And they just did it to kick us off. I think that's actually what it was. So yeah, all that effort, and we're gonna fork that back down. I gotta put this pallet back together, and yeah, we're gonna have to figure something out. We're gonna have to build something to be able to stand those up, because you have to have them. Can't lay them down flat. You have to have them vertical or up to like a 10-degree angle. Okay, well, moving on. A little bit of good news. We disassembled this next pallet here, the one that we figured could only be the next one with the taller glass, and it is. It's all the tall glass. So this one, we will fork it up there, unload everything out of here. Then we'll have to just use this as an empty pallet to get all those panels moved over here so we can get the rest of the tall ones up there. There's no way we are going to try to hoist panels up there without a forklift. So we might be able to get some installed today. Look at that. We got some panels up. Despite all of our setbacks, man, look at that. Look at how tall they are. I mean, I'm 6'3". They come up right to my nipple. It's, man, that's pretty cool. Anyways, end of the day, cleaning up, getting out of here. It's kind of a frustrating day. Just a lot of setbacks, a lot of frustrations, but you know what? We made it. We got glass up. Happy with it. Look at that. Cameron got a bunch of the fence done. Kevin's been digging away, getting another fence ready to go. And we're getting out of here, so we'll be back in the morning. All right, Wednesday morning. We're just getting rolling here in Trinidad. Kevin, what are you doing today?
I'm sending some posts, more posts, digging through roots.
Oh, there's roots over there?
There's a lot of roots
A lot of roots over there.
That's why I pulled the rock bar back out. But
Oh boy. Oh boy. So, man, Cameron got a bunch of the fence done yesterday. Them boys are gonna get started over there. I need to do some wall priming inside. Yeah, so let's check out Kevin and Cameron putting in some posts and building this fence. So mainly what's causing this is not using enough water when you're putting your bags in.
really?
Yep, because it'll cake up, and then you can get the rest of it, especially because there's so much buildup. It'll just it'll hold on to that concrete and it'll just build up on itself.
Oh yeah. Spick and span. Now let's get it dirty again.
Today's been kind of crazy. Just been running around. I am actually priming this wall here in the master bedroom. Well, I got one coat on. I need to get two on that and that wall there. Because the plaster it really shows everything underneath. So we want to have two really good coats, especially in those high eyeball seeing areas. But that's what I'm doing right now. And actually Cameron and Kevin are over in Blue Lake. They're getting all the holes scratched out to be setting the piers for that deck. So yeah, I'm just gonna get to painting while they're digging holes, and kind of crazy. We've got a bunch of jobs all of a sudden going on at the same time. So I'm gonna try to keep track of what everybody's doing. as you can see behind me, Venetian plaster on this wall is thin. So Joey and I were just getting that wall primed because around the fish tank, the whole thing is going to be Venetian plaster. We got the finished coat on the master bedroom fireplace, so that's going to get Venetian plastered. I think he's going to start on it tomorrow. So yeah, we're getting there slowly but surely. So it's nice to be able to see walls like this we've been talking about. This is just, it's not totally dry yet, so that'll all even out. But yep, we're just going to clean up and get out of here and back in the morning. Well, good Thursday morning to you. Not here in Trinidad, we're here in Blue Lake. We are back on this deck here. There's Kevin. Just cleaning up some pier blocks. So, yeah, Kevin and Cameron were digging these out yesterday, getting them deeper because these are all actually getting wet set. So we got a handful of them done yesterday. We're just gonna pick up where they left off. It's a crisp morning. Let's get started. Well, here we are back up in Trinidad. We left Kevin behind. He's gonna have to fend for himself because I went down there just to get him rolling on setting those posts and everything, or the piers. Joey and I are gonna get glass set. We want to get that unloaded out of that pallet and actually get those set before the weekend. So that's why we left Kevin by his lonesome. Okay, it's Cameron. He's a fence builder. Look at that guy. Anyways, might eat something real quick because it's almost not quite lunchtime, but I don't know. I'm always hungry. Look at that. Look at that. We got a corner. We have one corner made up. This is pretty crazy, huh, Cam?
It's wild.
This is super cool. I was just telling him to see like the original renderings of this house like a year and a half or 2 years ago whenever we first saw it to now, like this has always been, you know, like the crown jewel of the whole house, and now to see that railing goes on, it's pretty crazy. So my blood pressure is probably 180 over 120 right now. Just getting those on there was just super nerve-wracking, but now even more nerve-wracking is we have very little space right there, so I need to pick this up and over and get it out of here. And then we have the other pallet that we actually need to rearrange, like we talked about a couple days ago, that we need to actually pull some panels out, put them in this empty pallet, and then so we can get this back up here. So time to get this thing out of here and not hit anything. Didn't even die. Round two. I was time-lapsing that last section. So yeah, I was just saying that I was getting all these brackets down and installed. We're right on track to fork those panels up here and get these installed and get all this done. And on this very last bracket to install, I was pulling the measurements and it was like an inch short. And so I started digging into it, and I realized that we were sent the wrong size glass panels. So, yeah, really frustrated. Which, the biggest bummer is, I did these according to what the measurement was, not what it should be. So I have to move all of these. I just need to scoot these all like a half inch over, which the holes will be covered, so that's okay. But man, just such a bummer that we were so close to getting this and everything was going swimmingly, no problems, everything else went great, and then yeah, we had that wrench thrown in. But we'll install the panels for now, and just we're just gonna get a hold of the manufacturer and have them cut the correct size. So just frustrating, you know, it's partially all our fault. We did verify all the measurements, but at the same time, like, you kind of rely on the, you know, the manufacturer to know, you know, how to calculate the size of the glass. But oh well, it is what it is. So anyways, yeah, I'm just gonna finish out the day moving those a little bit, trying to figure out the correct measurements and everything, and clean up and get out of here. So we'll be back on Monday.